I'm recording this video because it was requested how to find an insurance company that is hiring. It does take a simple Google search, but I'm going to look through a few insurance companies, 3 that are countrywide, so you can work anywhere from the United States, and then 3 that are local, small health plans. I looked up San Francisco County, Alameda County, and Los Angeles County. So hopefully this will help. It's a 2-part video. In the second part, I'm going to tell you what to look for in an insurance company before you apply. Okay, so here we go. So the first one that I have up is Elevance Health. I did used to work for them. So they normally, must be located within 50 miles of a pulse point. A pulse point is one of their smaller offices in whatever region that you're working in. So in this one, it is remote, but you will be required to go to a pulse point for major meetings or whatever they require you to be there for. So for this one, you can see that they have a schedule of 9:30 to 6 p.m. with rotating weekend shifts. So this is a current position. And what I did was I did appeals nurse. I searched by appeals nurse, and you can also put in your location. But this one is in Los Angeles. And here's the statements that I am looking for. If you are a new grad nurse, equivalent experience helps. Let's see. It says requires 2 years of experience in a managed care healthcare setting, or any combination of education and experience which would provide an equivalent background. So those are the magic words that you're looking for. If you have any type of background in insurance, then you can give yourself the best, you would be able to apply for this. So if you're a new grad nurse and you have a background in insurance, go ahead and apply for this, because that would probably give you a leg up over the competition. I had 1 year of bedside experience, but my managed care healthcare setting and education and experience with having a background in Medi-Cal and working for the state probably got me in and hired with this company. Okay, so at the time that I was working here, it was fully remote, and then about the time I quit, they had made it a hybrid model. However, I did not work within 50 miles of a pulse point. At the time, I think it was 30 miles, but I could be wrong on that. This one says 50 miles, but I did not live within 50 miles or 30 miles of a pulse point, so I was exempt from that requirement. I just think it's ridiculous that they try to get you to come into the office for a meeting that you could have through Teams. And the other company that we're going to look at is Centene. I did have 2 interviews with Centene before. Both were, one was an appeals nurse position and the other was a management position. And no, the other one was not an appeals nurse position, I'm sorry. It was a fraud nurse position, but it ended up closing before they could hire me. They weren't able to have funding for that position. So, and I also had an interview as a management nurse supervisor. So in that position, I did make it to the second round of interviews, but there are some things that they say during the interview that you can tell that they have someone in mind, especially if they're already an established unit. You can tell that there's probably someone over that unit that qualifies and would probably want to be the manager, and that's the vibe I got. But with Centene, the position is 100% remote. This is a countrywide insurance company, just like Elevance Health. You can work in multiple states. So in this particular position as a prior authorization nurse, which is a part of the umbrella, you will need to have your BSN and 2 to 4 years of related experience. Now, I like that they say related experience. They're not exactly saying bedside experience. So you could probably have a background in Medicare, Medicaid, or another job, or in processing authorizations. This one is 100% remote. Here's the pay range. If you're not, I wouldn't be satisfied with the lower end of this pay range, nor the upper end where I'm at right now, but you can always negotiate. Don't forget to negotiate. That is another myth about nurses that work from home. If you accept the pay that they are offering you, then yeah, you can potentially make less than a bedside nurse. But I don't just accept it unless it's more than what I'm making in my current role. So Centene is another one. They have multiple positions open. Manager, grievances and appeals, prior authorization, senior clinical nurse reviewer. So go ahead and take a look and see what matches you and your needs. Okay, this is Humana. Humana is also federal. So in this one, I chose RN compliance auditor, but they have other positions. So just scroll through and see what suits you. A lot of their positions were not fully remote. They're like home health nurses, which you will need to go and see a patient. And I believe they are federal, like a federal type of insurance. I'm not for sure on that. So they might be, under the leadership of President Trump, they might be called into the office full time. So just keep that in mind. For this particular position, it's remote. Here's the qualifications. Quality assurance audits in the past 3 years, pre-service denials, or experience with utilization management. BSN required, MCG or interqual guidelines, and bilingual, English and Spanish. Work days Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 p.m. Eastern time with overtime as needed, and you may need to travel to certain places. Okay, and yeah, that's it for that one. Medical case manager is what I found for CalOptima, which is a local health plan in Los Angeles. So this one you can be an LVN. They have a closing date, which I like, the last date that they'll be accepting applications for this position. And here you have the salary and pay range. So remember to negotiate if this is not to your liking. This is a local one, so most likely you will have to have a California license and reside in California. And if it's hybrid, you will most likely need to work within the Los Angeles area as well. So here's another open position, CalOptima. Let's see if they had other ones. Medical case manager, case management, grievances and appeals. But just keep checking for your open positions. Now, CCHP is another one in the Bay Area. I clicked on Utilization Management Manager. Here's the essential duties, qualifications, bachelor's degree or equivalent as a minimum. They want you to have knowledge of standards. Base pay right here, and you apply on their website. And here are some of the ones that are open. Not very much, but yeah, just take a look and see what it is that you would be interested in. Alameda Alliance for Health is in Alameda County health plan in California. Here's their pay. This one is for nurse specialist long-term care. So you'll probably be processing prior authorizations for patients that need to go to a long-term care facility or a skilled nursing facility after receiving acute care or continued authorization. At minimum, they need an associate's degree required. BSN preferred, master's preferred as well. But that doesn't mean you don't have a chance if you have your ADN or ASN, okay? Minimum of 2 years of clinical experience required, minimum 2 years of experience in managed care. Here's your special qualification and skills and your salary range, okay? So the positions are open and they're out there. It just takes for you to Google and kind of see whether you would want to be a part of a federal or a countrywide insurance company servicing different counties in different states, or you would want to be a part of a local insurance company. In my experience, the countrywide health insurances are pretty strict with the requirements of what they expect from you and your daily production standards. So they want you to process 10 cases per day or something like that. They have standards. And, plus the whole, oh, we're switching from remote to you need to come in now. They tend to care less about their employees. Let me just put it that way. And that's just in my experience. Maybe your experience will be different, and maybe other people have different experiences as well. But when I go and I do my research on Glassdoor or Salary.com, the census seems to be the same. People have the same type of opinion. But I'm sure there are some that enjoy working for these big corporations. I work at a smaller local health insurance company, like the ones I've shown you, like CalOptima, Alameda Health. I tend to think that they are more lenient with their staff. They tend to care more about the people that work for them. That's my experience right now. So, and the odd part is you would think that I would get paid at a more bigger insurance that's company wide, but I work for a smaller company now and they pay me more than what I made at the bigger company. And I was a lead there. So that says a lot to me. So just negotiate your salary, look at local versus bigger insurance companies, and make your determination from there. Okay, time for part 2 of this video, and I hope you enjoyed this part and that it was helpful for you. If you have any questions, drop them down below, but really it just takes a Google search to find out who's hiring. You can also go on Indeed, and there's like a plethora and a collection of everyone in one spot. Centene posts there, Elevance Health posts there, smaller health insurance companies post there as well. Okay, hopefully you found this helpful again, and I'll see you in the second part. Here's a few things that you can keep in mind when you're doing that search. Number one, prioritize your values. Look at the company's mission, values, and goals on their website and ensure that it matches with your own. Make sure that they involve themselves in ethical practices. Choose a company that prioritizes ethical decision making and avoids practices that may negatively impact patients or members. Make sure that the company supports their employees and has a positive environment. You can figure these things out by going to social media outlets such as Reddit. Research that company on there. People usually give their honest answers and opinions about working for certain companies on those types of social media websites. Consider your career goals. Does the company promote career growth? If you're interested in a certain specialization such as or case management, is there room for growth in that company for those types of positions? Look and see if they promote your growth. Do they offer mentorship programs? Do they offer training for those types of positions that you may be interested in the future? Research their benefit packages and determine if they fit your lifestyle or where you want to go in the future. What kind of retirement do they offer? What kind of days off do they offer? How many days off do they offer? Do they offer flexible days? How much paid time off are you offered? Those are some things to consider. And you can usually find that on their webpage. So do a lot of research on their webpage, or you can speak to their HR should you get the interview, should you get the job. Do they offer continuing education support or specialized training? Those are some questions you want to ask during the interview process, should you get one. What type of paid time off? Sick days? Is there vacation days? Do they have separate time banks, or is it just one? Investigate work-life balance. Do they offer you the opportunity to work from home all the time, or are there some days where you may be able to work from home? Is there flexibility in that? Is it a hybrid situation where you can work from home, but some days you will need to be in the office? Something to consider. If you have to be on site, what kind of amenities do they offer? Do they offer paid parking for one? Do they have a gym on site? Anything that you may like to see in a company that you work for, inquire about those things. As I mentioned before, something that can be valuable is read employee reviews. Go to Indeed, go to LinkedIn, go to any other platform that may give you a bird's eye view about that certain company. Reddit has been a valuable resource for me as well. You can even post questions on there and someone will get back to you. A lot of it may be biased because of that one person's own individual experience, but a lot there you may find some that are actually credible. You can also use that as a way to network and familiarize yourself with someone that currently already works with that company so that you can advance in the future. Ask questions during the interview process. During the interview process, you can ask the questions about work-life balance, the culture of the company, and career development opportunities. Trust your intuition. if you have a bad gut feeling about this company after doing all of these things and getting into the interview process, and you feel like their answers were not genuine, or they were just cookie cutter answers to your questions that they might have answered before, or they're circling the issue but not really addressing the question, trust your intuition on that. So I hope you find a suitable insurance company position, and that some of these tips were valuable to you when you go and you search. If you're looking for the different types of insurance companies, there are some that are countrywide when it comes to the United States. So Centene, Aetna might be one of them. Anthem is also another one. And those may have stricter guidelines and company policies to follow. But if you look at your more local, smaller insurance companies, just do a Google search for insurance companies in your localized area or in your city or in your county, you'll find that they might have a more lax approach, but it just depends on the company and the management, the style of the management. So get a feel for those things, do your searches, do your research on the individual company's website, and compare them with your own values, goals, and your mission in life, and see if you can be a part of that insurance company and be an asset to them. Hopefully these tips were helpful. Leave any questions in the comments below and I'll be sure to answer. See you in the next one.